It is irresponsible. I mean, it is directly harmful. Our society is as politically shattered as it is in part because of how Joe has interacted with information.
What's going on, you guys? Joe Rogan is getting slaughtered again by Kyle Kulinski. Kyle Kulinski and Joe Rogan have been going at it for a while. Sam Harris is joining in to talk about what he's not fond of. I'm giving my commentary as well. Let's watch.
100% correct. Joe has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He's massively in over his head. He's in this friend group of right-wing idiots. They all convinced him, oh, you got to endorse Trump, and Trump is base, bro. Trump is base, bro. And now he owns everything. He owns all of it. The other day, he was like, you know, bro, I'm lefty on some things, right-wing on other things. I believe in, like, universal health care and stuff, bro. I believe in socialized medicine, bro. He said that on a show the other day. Meanwhile, he said fucking dick when the House Republicans just passed a bill to cut Medicaid, which is healthcare for poor people, $880 billion, which would destroy Medicaid and make it so we basically don't even fucking have it anymore. Stealing healthcare from tens of millions of Americans casually with a vote through Congress, and he said fuck all about it. So spare me with your in theory, hypothetically, I kind of support these things, bro. Meanwhile, every actual decision you make in this real world that impacts people, you're consistently on the wrong side, sucking off J.D. Vance, sucking off Donald Trump. Give me a break.
It is irresponsible. I mean, it is directly harmful. Our society is as politically shattered as it is in part because of how Joe has interacted with information.
It's true. It's all vibes. It's all vibes. It's all vibes. And the thing is, vibes got me in that room. And I was able to try to speak sense for a while. But, you know, the vibes of the ascendant right-wingers online sort of captured him. And he felt like, this is cool, bro. We're part of something bigger than ourselves. And we all like to beat on fucking woke college campus kids who don't like comedy, bro. And he just got swept up in all that.
Look at that kid from NYU. They just withheld his diploma. They're actually he's been there. He put in his time. He paid NYU, God knows how much freaking money he paid to that school. And now and granted, he was the one that they put on a commencement speech. I don't think that they're just putting some jackwagon on the commencement speech. They're not just putting any student right there. So obviously he had to be doing something right. And now they're literally just like, oh, you made that one comment about, you know, I don't even want to say it because I don't want this YouTube vid to go to do anything. Lord knows what the hell this is like. This is like North Korea. We are literally in North Korea. We can't even say something. You know, this is supposed to be, you know, we're taught even in school, like, hey, look, you can say whatever, you know, people, we had to, you know, kill all these people and do all this terrible stuff to make sure that we were free. And now, are we free? I mean, I can't even say something. I can't even say something. I can't even mention something on a YouTube vid because I don't want anything else to go down. You know, it's just crazy.
Again, I don't think I think a lot of this is inadvertent.
True.
Or maybe, you know, all of it's inadvertent.
I tend to agree with Sam on this. I know some people say, like, no, I think he's literally just bought off. And to the extent that you consider the 100 million or however much it is from Spotify being bought off, in that sense, it's undeniable because he literally took like over $100 million from Spotify. Like, he is corporate media, regardless of how he virtue signals, like, I'm independent media, I'm new media. No, you're not. No, you're just not, right? But in terms of what does he think? I think in his own mind, he thinks, I'm just honestly navigating through all these issues in real time, but he went down a lot of fucking horrible rabbit holes and ended up with preposterously stupid positions.
But it is also avoidable, right? He could actually take the responsibility that really is his to take at this point to get his facts straight and have someone other than Jamie there riding shotgun with him. Where, I mean, he could have two brilliant journalists whose full-time job, he could pay each of them $1 million a year just to sit there and make sure he doesn't put his foot in his mouth in a colossally irresponsible way.
Here's the thing, Sam. He's all about the vibes. He's all about the vibes. And nothing would throw off the vibe faster than an asshole like me fact-checking in the room where I'm like, hold on, Joe, that's not true. You're talking about Hunter Biden's corruption or Joe Biden's corruption. Here's how Trump is way more corrupt. Here's how much money he's taken. Here's the deal with the Saudis. Here's, like, nothing would kill the vibe faster. And what he prioritizes the vibes over everything else because he's a comedian.
He's not even a comedian. He's a bum grifter. He is grifting to the taxi driving, Joker watching. Like, they're not actually driving taxis. I love the taxi drivers. God bless the taxi drivers. I'm saying the people that watch Taxi Driver, the people that watch the Joker, these Blade Runner, American Psycho ass lunatics, they like fanboy over this bullshit. And that's what they eat up. They eat up this anti-intellectual, oh, woe is me. The world is out to get me. The world wants to step on me. That's why I have to assert my uncomfortableness on you so that you can feel uncomfortable and that I'm already uncomfortable so we can both feel, so you can feel what I feel. You're just like my dad. You don't get me either. It's just like, get out of here, dude. Like, seriously, it's just getting very old, very tiring. And it doesn't help that you have this freaking bald manlet out here, just preaching to them every other day.
Entertainer. It's all about like, bro, we're just shooting the shit. We're just comedians shooting the shit. Bro, you can't take our word seriously. But then he commands a fucking army of people who take his word seriously. And so, in theory, in principle, what he's saying would be good. Somebody be there to be like, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true. But how quickly would the audience turn on that person and be like, fuck this person, get them out of the room, they're fucking the vibe up. And that's part of the problem, is that we live in like a vibes-based order. And so that's why a lot of people looked at Trump and thought, oh, he feels like he's authentic and he tells the truth. Meanwhile, he lies more than any politician in fucking human history. But since he feels like he's telling the truth, bro, that's good enough, right? And so that's the problem. Joe would never do what you're talking about here. And if he were to do what you're talking about here, I think his podcast will become even less popular. So it's just a matter of, at this point, there is no hope for Rogan. It's about winning the information warfare against these people, against the Joe Rogans, against the Daily Wires, against the Steven Crowders, against the Candace Owens, against the right-wing slop, Tim Pools, et cetera, et cetera. It's about against the Fox News and the Newsmax and the One American News. That's what it is. This is an information war. And for too long, the left and liberals have sort of really been hands-off or just doing their own thing while the right runs circles around them on social media and gains bigger followings. And now it's time to take the fucking gloves off and expose these people for what they fucking are. They're liars, they're con men, they're frauds, they're freaks, they're losers, they believe wildly unpopular things. Their policies will ruin people's lives, and that's what it's time to say. So no, there will be no fact checker in the room holding Joe Rogan accountable, because also, by the way, they'd have to interject every 5 fucking minutes, right?
So yeah, there we have it, you guys. Kyle Kulinski going in on Joe Rogan. Sam Harris, weirdly enough, is also turning on Rogan. I didn't think that they were ever against each other. They sort of seemed like they were pretty adjacent. If I saw somebody listening to a guided Sam Harris meditation, I would also decide to turn the other way. But yeah, no, I mean, I guess anybody helps, especially calling out the bullshit of, Joe Rogan. He is going to continue to mislead people as long as they want to stay misled. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Love you guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. Another day in the progressive way.